welcome to the C-Jack podcast. This is your host, C-Jack, and today we're going to be doing the Survivor Series review on this podcast. We're going to review it. We're going to break down a couple matches. I realize that I ain't got out to you guys in a couple weeks. Now, I've been having some internet issues. I'm sorry about that, guys. But this week, we're going to do double episodes. We're going to do the Survivor Series podcast now. And then the next episode that you will see from the C-Jack podcast will be a Thanksgiving episode, which I'm just going to basically talk about my Thanksgiving and how my Thanksgiving was and the days that followed. Guys, I don't know if I know I talked to you guys in a couple weeks. So here's how we're going to start this out. I'm going to tell you kind of how my fucking Thanksgiving weekend was. I'm going to let you in a little secret anyway. So I requested some time off. And I had about a week off, which was Thanksgiving weekend. I normally work the weekends, just so you know. And I had fun, guys. I had fun. We're not going to get into that now. We're going to actually get ready to jump into this Survivor Series review. But that's a little bit of a preview on what's going to take place on the next podcast. So if you want to know how C-Jack's Thanksgiving was and the rest of his weekend, make sure you check out the the episode titled C-Jack Thanksgiving. Right after you finish watching this, you can't watch nothing because I'm in your ears, I'm not on your screen. So, without further ado, make sure you check out the C-Jack Thanksgiving after you finish listening to the Survivor Series review with C-Jack, who is me, obviously. As always, find me on Twitter at only one C-Jack. That is only one, and the C and the J is capitalized as always. Only one is O-N-E, spelled out. So, without further ado, let's get into this fucking podcast. Let's get into the meat, the potatoes, the main course, if you will. A little bit of Dusty Rhodes. I know my Dusty Rhodes impression is sucking tonight, but without further ado, and I've said further ado quite a few times. Sorry about that. So anyway, on to the fucking meat and potatoes of the podcast. So first off, we got the pre-show here, which I'm not real big on the pre-show, but, is what it is. You had Matt Hardy versus Elias. First off, wasn't a bad match. It was, I give it probably about 3 stars. Elias came away with the win. Surprisingly, gave the kid some credit. Sorry about the young guys. He gave the kid some credit, beating Matt Hardy, who's a vet. Maybe it's going to help further his career along a little bit better. I don't think Matt Hardy took any damage, with his career or anything on losing Elias, because let's face it, to the WWE, wins and losses don't matter, which I hate that because wins and losses do matter. They do, guys, they do. It's just Vince don't think so, evidently. Anyway, Matt Hardy lost, Elias won. Next match was Kalisto versus Enzo for the WWE Cruiserweight Championship. That match, it was a lot better than what previous Enzo matches were. I'll give it a pretty solid, a pretty solid rating. I'm not going to say what rating, but I'm going to say pretty solid rating for a pre-show match. Kind of got the crowd pumped up a little bit, kind of feeling it. Kalisto's, he's not bad. He just botches a lot of his shit, but he's got some learning to do. Enzo walked away with the win, still the championship, his boo, if you will. That's what he's calling it. But yeah, not real big on Kalisto having the championship, or not Kalisto, but Enzo having the championship. But I don't really want to see Kalisto have it either. I'm hoping maybe they'll get somebody credible holding it too. Like maybe some Rich Swann. Possibly we have the Brian Kendrick back in the title picture at some point. There's a lot of good talent there on 205 Live that I could see holding the championship. It's just none of them are holding it yet, which is kind of upsetting, but is what it is. Now on to the actual... I forgot. There's one more match on the pre-show. It was Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn versus Breezango. Now this came to fruition after I think it was Owens and Zayn were out there talking a bunch of shit, doing promo, and Breezango came out, and then the match ended up taking place from there. But it wasn't. I don't want to say it wasn't a scheduled match. Excuse me, I don't want to say it wasn't a scheduled match, but it was a result of a promo. So it was a pretty decent match. Owens and Sami Zayn walked away with the win, building them up a little bit further. Now let's get into the actual nitty gritty of the pay-per-view, and we started this pay-per-view off the right way with the New Day versus the Shield. Amazing match, guys. Amazing match. I would easily give this 3.5, 4 stars. Easily. It was a wicked match. I loved the back and forth action. I love the tag team action. I don't think it may have went a little bit long, but not too bad. It was right in that sweet spot. Yeah, maybe just a little bit over, but it was in the sweet spot for sure. Shield walked away with the win. Oh damn, guys! I'm sorry, I'm yawning so much tonight. Shield walked away with the win. Can't complain there. Shield's still showing they the big dogs of the WWE. They the dominant team. So yeah. I don't think it's going to hurt the New Day at all. Not at all. Not to be beat by the Shield. The Shield, they part of the I don't want to say original, but they part of this newer generation. They one of the originals of this newer generation. I'll put it that way. Their bond is unbreakable. Their bond is whoa, dude. Just whoa. Amazing match. Like, if you didn't see it, you got to go back and watch it, because this match was off the chain, if you know what I mean. Next match was the Women's Survivor Series match. Not going to spend a whole lot of time talking on this match. Not just because I don't remember a whole lot of it, but because... God damn. Another fucking yawn. That one was 3 seconds long. I'm sorry, guys. Not because it wasn't a good match. It was just... It was alright. It was a Women's Survivor Series match. That's about what I could say for it. Raw won. So, that which, I kind of figured it would. Asuka picked up the win for Raw, which I didn't see them letting Asuka get beat anyway, just because they've got her undefeated. I understand it wouldn't affect her singles undefeated streak, but just to let her get beat in a tag match, it would be like, oh shit, she can actually get beat. I think they're going to hold her defeat for something big for like WrestleMania or a big pay-per-view like that. The next match was the Intercontinental Champion, The Miz versus the Intercontinental Champion. Yeah, Intercontinental Champion The Miz versus the U.S. Champion Baron Corbin. For some reason, I thought I was getting this crossed around, but no, that's right. That was a pretty good match. I'll give it to him. Miz is a good worker. I like the Miz's stuff. I've always liked the Miz when he comes out. I know I talk a lot of shit about the Miz. I know I do a lot of promos on the Miz, but I'm going to give it to you straight this way. The only problem I have with a lot of these matches, which this was one of the matches I'm talking about, is with both people in the match being either a heel or a face on the respected brand. I didn't know who was supposed to be the heel or the face of a match. That's the only problem. That's the only issue I had. It was kind of hard to feel invested in the story portion of the match. Not that they didn't tell a good story, because I mean it was a good story, great match. Baron Corbin walked away with the win, which I gotta give props to him. Congratulations, Baron Corbin. Congratulations, kid. But it was just kind of one of those things to where there's not a lot of heat built up. This is one of the few matches that had a little bit of heat built up to it, to where you were a little bit more invested in it. But there's some other matches that there wasn't a lot of heat built up to it because they didn't have time to build heat up to it or whatever. But they're just another like 4-second yawn, guys. There just wasn't a lot of time to be invested in this match, to getting pumped up and excited for it, and really spend time caring about who won and who lost. Well, like I said earlier, Baron Corbin walked away with the win. Not really sure how it's gonna hurt anybody per se, but is what it is. Next up, we had Sheamus and Cesaro, who are the Raw WWE Tag Team Champions, against the Usos, or your SmackDown Live Tag Team Champions. God damn, 90% of this podcast is going to be fucking yawns. I swear to God. Shit. What was I saying? Oh, Sheamus and Cesaro versus the Usos. This was a good match. It was a very good match. Very on point. Very well paced. I didn't think it went too fast. I didn't think it went too slow. I thought it was kind of right in that sweet spot. Usos, they're a great team. They walked away with the win. This is another one of those matches where I wasn't sure who was the face and who was the heel, just because of the simple fact that both teams on their respected brands play heels. Usos aren't really heel though. Anyway, they're kind of in between. They're kind of tweeners, if you will. But I was going for the Usos in this match. I was hoping they would win, and guess what, baby? Usos walked away with the win. I loved the hot tag in this match. I thought it was great. I thought it was just a good match all in all. It had me on the edge of my seat, that's for sure. That's one thing I can say. This match had me on the edge of my seat. Sheamus and Cesaro brought it. I didn't know Sheamus and Cesaro could bring it like they did, but they did. They brought it. Next up is a match I wasn't really very invested in. I didn't really care about it. I'm going to be honest with you. I probably didn't watch it the way I should have because I wasn't 100% invested in it. I was kind of... fuck. I was kind of fucking around on my phone a little bit while I was watching this match. I was on Facebook, other shit, because I wasn't 100% invested in this match like I should have been. But regardless, it was Alexa Bliss versus Charlotte, Raw Women's Champion against SmackDown Live Women's Champion. I'm just gonna be honest. I really didn't. I didn't see this being a good match. And for what it was alright. But I think WWE could have done better for this match. I don't want to take anything away from Charlotte because Charlotte is She's a great competitor, but she just didn't seem to bring it like she can in this match per se. And I think this would have been a better match if maybe they would have let Mickie James hold the championship for this match, and it be Mickie James versus Charlotte, or even if they would have let it be Mickie James versus Natalya. I would have loved to see either one of those two, any one of those two women face Mickie James. I think that would be an amazing match. But I think Bliss is still slowly coming into her own. I know I probably get a lot of shit for that, but it is what it is. I feel like Bliss still has a long way to go to be the competitor she could be. As far as on the mic, she's got it. She's got everything she needs to have as far as mic work. I just think she needs to be better with in-ring work. The in-ring work is probably the first most important part. Aside from the in-ring work, then you need mic work. But she's got the mic down. She's amazing on the mic. Doesn't need any help there. She needs to work on her ring work. If she become a good worker in the ring, I will be an Alexis Bliss fan without a doubt. She just got a little bit of work to go, and she could get there. I see potential in her. I see the potential. I see it happening. It's just there's going to be some work put in, and it'll get there eventually. It's just not there yet. That's how I'm going to put that one. Next match was one everybody had been waiting for, and it was AJ Styles versus Brock Lesnar, the WWE Champion versus the WWE Universal Champion. And even though Brock walked away with the win, great match. If you did not see this match, YouTube, Google, I don't fucking care. Look for this match. Find this match. Watch this match. That's your homework. Do it. AJ Styles versus Brock Lesnar. Probably the best match of the night, hands down. Hands down, without a doubt, the best match of the night. Brock is a great seller. He can sell fucking nothing. He can sell anything. And Brock sold everything AJ threw at him amazingly. Brock sold catching AJ Styles. If I went into detail on everything Brock sold and all the details of this match, we could be here all night. I'm just going to leave it at this. Brock sold amazingly. AJ is an amazing worker. He's an amazing seller. I'm going to put it out there right now. AJ is probably the best of this generation. And I wholeheartedly mean that. The only time I would go against that is if Mr. Punk came back and CM Punk and AJ Styles had a match. Then that would be, we would really have to see who would be the best there. Because both of them are amazing, but see, Punk ain't been around for a while, so Punk probably got a little ring rust. AJ ain't got no ring rust. AJ, he's phenomenal. I'm just gonna say that right now. Phenomenal one. I mean, that's what he is. That's a slogan. That's what he calls himself. Because it's true, and he believes that, and so does everybody in that crowd. I don't see how anybody is doubting AJ Styles at this point. Now, I understand Brock Lesnar walked away with the win, but here's my theory on that. We're gonna take you through on why Brock Lesnar won this match. Hear me out. Brock Lesnar won this match, beat AJ Styles. He has not lost a match for quite a while since earning the WWE Championship, the Universal Championship, last WrestleMania. Brock Lesnar is going to continue to go undefeated until WrestleMania in April. In April, it will be Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar, WWE Universal Championship. Roman Reigns will defeat Brock Lesnar for the WWE Universal Championship. Therefore, putting Roman Reigns over as a face, hopefully, this is probably WWE's plan. I don't know if he'll be a face or not, but I'm assuming it'll put him over as a face more as their plan. And not only that, but it makes Roman Reigns look like a bigger badass for beating the one guy who has beat everybody every single time he stepped in the ring for the past year. So, and then on top of that, both men have beat The Undertaker at WrestleMania. So therefore, it will literally be the best of the versus the best. That because both men have beat The Undertaker. So then we will see who the true big dog of the WWE is, or the true beast of the WWE is, and when these two battle, and Roman Reigns will beat Brock Lesnar, walkaway championship, get him over, hopefully more. This is WWE's plan, and make him look like a bigger badass. That's the theory on that. That's probably the plan. That's what I'm going to stick with. That's what I'm going to stick to until something is revealed differently. So that's the reason why Brock Lesnar won against AJ Styles. I'm not saying if they face again, AJ Styles would lose a second time, because they made it look like a hell of a battle for Brock Lesnar to win, and that's what they needed to do. They never let AJ Styles hit all of his finishers, which is a good thing, because then if they would have done that, they could say, oh, well, AJ Styles gave it all he had. Well, AJ Styles left everything out there in the ring, yes. But he never successfully hit the Styles Clash on Brock Lesnar, as far as I can remember. It was either the Styles Clash or Phenomenal Forearm, but I'm pretty sure he hit the Phenomenal Forearm on Brock Lesnar, and he still kicked out. So I'm thinking it's the Styles Clash that was never hit on Brock Lesnar. So with that being said, we're going to move forward here into the last match of the night, which was the men's Survivor Series match. Not going to hang on this one too much either. Basically, we're just going to jump through to the ending. It was Shane and Kurt Angle in the ring. You still had Braun Strowman and Triple H on Raw side. Well, Triple H came into the ring, pedigreed Kurt Angle, and then he took and he had Shane McMahon pin him 1, 2, 3. Then he turned around, pedigreed Shane, and pinned him 1, 2, 3. So, and then it ended with Braun Strowman getting in Triple H's face and saying, "Don't you ever cross me again." Triple H tried to blindside Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman wasn't having any of that. He was like, and he did a few running power slams to Triple H. So, with that being said, I think they're setting up for a Braun Strowman Triple H match. That, or possibly a Kurt Angle Triple H match. Something along those lines. I'm not going to say Triple H looked amazing, but he looked good. He didn't quite have all the muscle mass he used to, but he's getting older. I can kind of understand that. Same with Kurt. I loved the wrestling attire Kurt had. All in all, it wasn't a bad match. The ending was very controversial, very surprising. Had me saying "what the fuck" for a few minutes. So yeah, I mean that was the Survivor Series pay-per-view, guys. I highly recommend you go back and watch it. There's quite a few good matches. The only match that if you don't really care to watch and you could, if you wanted to skip one, I would suggest skipping the Alexa Bliss Charlotte match, just because that wasn't the best match on there. But all the rest of them, man, I would not skip for a second. I mean, I would watch every single other match on that pay-per-view, because they were all good. Especially the last match and the AJ Styles Brock Lesnar match. Between the AJ Styles Brock Lesnar match, the New Day versus the Shield match, and the last match with the what the fuck added to the end of it, you got yourself. I would easily say a 4.5 star pay-per-view, if not a 5-star pay-per-view. They brought it for this Survivor Series pay-per-view, which is good, because I haven't seen WWE bring it for a Survivor Series pay-per-view for a while. So I'm glad they're finally giving some credibility back to the title. I'm glad to hear that. Next week, or not next week, next episode, C-Jack Thanksgiving. We're going to talk about this real quick before I get out of here. I'm about 4 minutes away from your 30-minute guarantee. I realize I flew through this, guys. Sorry, but we might be under 30 minutes a little bit this week, but hey, it is what it is. Now, like I was saying, we're going to give you a little tidbit on this next episode here. So the Thanksgiving podcast. I'm gonna just talk to you guys, tell you how my Thanksgiving was, tell you how my weekend was. I'm recording this on a Monday, or the Thanksgiving podcast. I'm recording it on a Monday. So the weekend's over with. Had a great weekend. Had a great Thanksgiving. And yeah, we're going to talk to you guys and let you know how we did it and how Thanksgiving was. And on top of that, toward the end, if you listen all the way to the end, which I thank you if you do, if you want to stick around to listen to me flap my gums for half hour every week, I greatly appreciate that. Remember to smack that like button, smack that subscribe button. Always follow me on Twitter. And here's your little tidbit. The end of the next episode, I know you guys know him. He's been on my podcast a couple times before. The Mac Attack, or as I like to call him now, Corporate Mac. I'm going to cut a promo on him. And then next week, we're going to give Corporate Mac a chance to retaliate to what I say. Now, he can retaliate any way he wants, whether he wants to retaliate to me on Twitter, whether he wants to send it in a Facebook message, whether he wants to send it in a text message, whether he wants to do it live on the show, or if he just wants to record a voicemail. I will play the voicemail for you guys. However, Mac, you want to retaliate, I'm giving you your chance, bro. So, there's your tidbit. Next episode, C-Jack cuts a promo on Corporate Mac. Oh, because Corporate Mac is not the same Mac that you, ladies and gentlemen, know and love. Corporate Mac is a sellout. But I ain't getting into that just yet. You guys are going to have to listen to the next episode all the way to the end, and you'll find out all about Corporate Mac, just so you know. So until next time, I thank you for checking out the podcast. I thank you for staying with me till the end. This is C-Jack. This has been the Survivor Series review, breakdown, whatever the fuck you want to call it. And I will catch your ass later. Thanks.